I love talking about how we came up with RootsTech because it happened in a collaboration between a technologist, me, and a genealogist, our chief genealogical officer, David Rencher. We'd often talk about how do we get these two worlds together. We've got genealogists who understand how to make sound conclusions, and we have technologists who understand how to build large information systems, but they don't like talking to each other. And when they don't talk to each other, they don't come up with good solutions. The technology guys come up with stuff that doesn't really work, and the genealogy guys aren't really happy with it. So we talk about how can we get these guys together. The problem is we could never figure out a way that we thought both audiences would show up. If the genealogists loved it, the technology guys were going, why come? And vice versa. So that 2010 NGS conference that Steve mentioned was our opportunity. We thought, what if we create a technology hall? What if we nudge these conferences so they happen at the same time? What if we kind of test the idea of technology and genealogy together? And as Steve said, that technology hall, the technology track, there was palpable excitement, palpable energy. And we looked at that and said, wow, we have an opportunity. We still have a lot of naysayers, a lot of people who said this will never work. Why would Family Search host a conference in Salt Lake City? Are you sure? But we put together the ideas behind the first RootsTech. We gave our marketing team, I think, a little more than 6 months to pull off an entire conference. And they didn't know if they should be scheduling for 500 people or 3,000 people. Dan Martinez and Ann Harrison, Ann Roach, a whole team of really great people just worked to the bone to put that conference together. And we had about 3,000 people show up the first year. It was amazing. I remember Josh Coates came out in the keynote with bare feet, and Shane Robeson from Hewlett Packard. We had some really good kind of industry level people talking about technology and about genealogy. And really from there, that whole idea of a technologist and a genealogist getting together and figuring things out, that's how we came out with RootsTech, and that's what I think it still is today.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you so much. It's very kind of Jay to come all the way back and share with us those early memories and those early efforts. We're so excited to have you all here, but as always, we're not here to celebrate RootsTech. We're here to celebrate you. This industry has grown, ingenuity has flourished, and you've taken genealogy and family history to a whole new level. Now, some of you have been with us since the very beginning in 2011, and we want to recognize you. Those of you who have attended all 10 RootsTech conferences, please stand up. Wow. I actually need to sit down. I'm not worthy to stand up during that. I was out in the field watching everything's happen online. So those of you who stood up, you should have received an all 10 button. And if you haven't, let us know and we'll get you one, because we hope you wear it proudly, because we're so impressed and so grateful. Grateful for the conference you've supported, and grateful for the conference you helped create together. Now, you may have also noticed this first day, new attendees walking around with RootsTech rookie buttons. We're so excited to have you join the family. You're about to experience a community like no other. Here you'll discover connections, you'll find belonging, and you'll learn more about your own story. So now that we've got everyone here, this is a celebration. We promised you a party, so let's get the party going. First, we'll start with the video. Then we will welcome our two MCs for the conference, our very own Whitney Peterson and Jonathan Wing. You might remember John. He joined me on stage in 2017 and shared some of his story with us. Turns out I'm part of that story too, as we literally recently just discovered that we're cousins. You might recognize Whitney from last year's RootsTech, as she joined Patricia Heaton on stage and shared a beautiful family discovery moment. So now, let's look at the story of you.
The conference is, at some level, a version 1 of the conference. It's a big experiment.
Well, here we are, the 4th
Annual RootsTech. Well, welcome to RootsTech 2015. Isn't it amazing?
You all are part of the world's largest family history conference. Wow. Welcome to RootsTech 2017, 2018, 2019.
We are all survivors of something.
No, I mean, being from Nigeria, West Africa, I mean, you'd think that it'd be impossible to be able to do family history, and it's possible now. It really is.
I started reading all these stories of the sacrifices that my ancestors went through. All of these people who just worked so hard in their lives.
My dad has this really interesting face he makes when he's concentrating. I don't think I do it, but it goes like this. I
totally do that all the time.
Do I really?
Just being able to go through and find a little more of the details from living relatives and wondering about them and their lives.
One of the things that I love being able to do with family history is use it to tell stories to my kids. But the stories that you collect, the stories of our families, these are the authentic stories.
My mother hadn't seen him nor knew anything about him in decades, in a lifetime. And in seconds, you all solved the mystery in our family.
That began this process of writing these letters home that took me through the next 3 years. And these were a sort of, you can't believe what just happened to me today variety. Hey, y'all, let's take a ride.
There's nothing like food to bring families together. Grandma, grandpa, the aunts, the uncles, the kids.
2 years ago at RootsTech, we introduced the U.S. Marriage Collection, the most comprehensive collection of U.S. marriages ever.
Your paternal roots actually began in France.
My Heritage will be giving away 15,000 DNA kits worth over $1 million, free, because we believe everyone should have the opportunity to find their family.
That was the last time my mother would ever see me skate in competition. Right after that, I just decided that I wanted to honor her in every single thing that I did.
I wanted to start by thanking you for bringing your curiosity and excitement and love of family history to Ancestry for over 30 years. And really today, knowing what I know, if I had to choose between a career and children, I would have picked the kids every time.
But when I count to 3, I want you to scream, shout, absolutely go crazy, all right? On the count of 3, get the room. 1, 2, 3. Yes! Come on, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage your hosts for RootsTech 2020, Jonathan Wing and Whitney Peterson.
Oh my goodness, hello.
Look at this crowd. Hello. We are so excited to be here. Are you excited? Yes.
How are we feeling tonight? Good? Awesome. We have a party for you today. That was such an awesome video. It brought back some great memories. You've grown up since I've last been here on this stage. You're a lot bigger. I mean, the crowd is a lot bigger.
Jonathan, we're so excited to be back with our RootsTech family.
And like family, we've been through a lot together.
You're right.
I mean, our journey together over the last 10 years has been incredible. We've created quite the story. And if we're sharing our story with our RootsTech rookies and with each other, then we had better start from the beginning. To quote Kierkegaard, life can only be understood backwards, but must be lived forwards. So let's take a look back to understand where we are and where we're going.
This incredible conference kicked off in 2011 with a whopping 3,000 attendees. We only had 40 classes, 59 exhibitors, and 4,700 attendees who were viewing via live stream. But it was all of you who made this become a reality. Jay Berkler was at the helm leading us on this great adventure as technologists and genealogists first began to come together. We were just beginning to hear whispers of things like the cloud. Do any of you remember the first time you heard about the cloud? How many of you thought it had something to do with the weather?
Me.
Some of us were skeptical, but computers were taking on roles we had never imagined in our family history research.
It was both exhilarating and sometimes intimidating, but all in all, we came together, and together we started something we knew would be powerful. Though I don't think any of us would have dared to imagine that we would have grown as much as we have. Find My Past grew and expanded to Australia and Ireland, and 23andMe's database has surpassed 100,000. This was the same year that Ancestry launched its first mobile app. You could do family history research on the go, on a device that could fit in the palm of your hand. And we were just scratching the surface.
In fact, I think we should honor that. Computers were such a huge part of our development in this industry. How about we give one away?
Oh, I don't know. Would they really like that? Yeah?
Does anyone want to win a laptop?
Okay.
Steve promised you a party.
Okay.
Okay, so what's a party without gifts? We're going to give one away right here, right now. But first, let's see if we can sweeten the pot a little bit.
Oh, interesting.
We're going to add a scanner with this laptop. I mean, for a genealogist, what goes better with a computer than a scanner?
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
I've got the first name that we have randomly selected. And the winner is Patricia Donahoe. Could we please have Patricia Donahoe from Massachusetts stand up?
There you
are. That's fantastic. You have just won a laptop sponsored by Dell and a scanner sponsored by Epson. Thank you, RootsTech runner. Oh, that was exhilarating. I'm just as excited as she is, I think.
Now, I think everybody else is super sad, but remember, we said gifts. So let's continue down memory lane and see what else we have to give away. 2012 was an exciting year, and it was incredible for a number of reasons. Not only because the world didn't end, but because it was the year of the 1940 census.
Oh, the genealogical community came together in unprecedented ways. Together with our partners and droves of volunteers, we came together to index the 1940 census. We had waited 72 years, and in just 2.5 months, we had digitized records available on Family Search. We were connecting and growing together as technology grew. Look at what we did together. How many of you have found part of your story in that 1940 census?
Wow.
That's fantastic. Okay, how many of you indexed? Look at all those hands.
2013 was also another year that is to be remembered. Dennis Brimhall had his chance at the helm. This was the year we began to look more to stories. We were expanding our view of genealogy to include more storytelling and to consider our research a part of that research that identified all of these stories, a part of that woven tapestry of family narratives. Stories of World War II took center stage, and our partners continued to excel in their fields. By the end of 2013, MyHeritage had 60 million users and had also launched an app. This was also the year Find My Past won a contract to publish online more with our past than we ever had before.
In fact, 2014 was all about the right to be remembered. We began to look at the present and think about how we would share our stories with the future. Every family has a story. And in 2014, we heard stories of family and of survival from Ree Drummond, Stephanie Nielsen, and Judy Russell.
This was also the year that MyHeritage partnered with Billion Graves to digitize graves in cemeteries worldwide. Here's a fun fact. My dear friend Whitney over here is obsessed with cemeteries.
I am.
In fact, the first time that we met, we were on an assignment together at a cemetery, so you could say our friendship really started in a cemetery.
Oh, that's sweet. Thank you. In fact, I have a Billion Graves story. My family and I, we went searching, I think on Memorial Day, looking around for our ancestors. And we went to a cemetery we hadn't been to very often, looking for an ancestor we didn't look for very often. And we were walking up and down the aisles for quite a while until I remembered that Billion Graves had GPS locators. I pulled it up, and in 2 seconds, we had found that grave we had spent about a half an hour looking for otherwise. So yes, I love them.
And as your friend, Whitney, I think this might be an okay time for me to say, she is single.
Family reunions. Thank you, Jonathan. It's nice to know that someone is working on growing my family tree, and my parents are very grateful.
You're welcome. Very welcome. 2015. What a big year for us. It marked an era of true growth. We began to expand the realm of family history to touch stories, DNA, records, memories, connection, technology, and discovery.
And our main stage was packed with talent, including former First Lady Laura Bush, Donny Osmond, Studio C, and David Archuleta, just to name a few. And we began to focus on individuals who inspire us, not only in our family, but in the industry as well.
DNA had caught all of our attention. We wanted to know not only where we were from, but how it manifested in our very blood. Or should I say, spit.
Yeah. Oh.
We did a quick calculation based off of how many people have taken DNA tests, and it turns out that together we have collected over 15,000 gallons of spit. So let's see who contributed to that. How many of you have taken a DNA test? That's a lot. That is a lot. Okay, let's take a poll. Who here has ancestors from South America? No? Scandinavia? All right.
Proud?
Asia? Hey, we're back there. How about Europe? Europe.
Oh, wow.
Africa? How about the UK? All right. Whitney, your hands have been up like the same time as me.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Are we basically the same person?
I guess so.
How about the Philippines?
Okay, fine, you got me.
Okay.
Jonathan, how about you tell them about your breakdown?
I've said this before, but I am half Filipino, quarter Dutch, 8th Chinese, 16th German, 16th Irish.
Yeah. It's very impressive that you have that all.
My dad was actually born in Holland and my mom in the Philippines. You know what that makes me?
What?
A jalapeno. Ancestry DNA tests surpassed the 1 million mark. 23andMe's customer base surpassed 1 million. With Ancestry and 23andMe's huge mile markers taking place in 2015, we felt it is the perfect year to give away another gift. We have 4 DNA kits from Ancestry, MyHeritage, 23andMe, and Family Tree, and it is going to one lucky person here in the audience. Can I get some noise if you want this prize?
Drum roll, please!
Lillian McGill. Lillian McGill. Oh, she's right
From
here.
Australia!
Lillian is from Australia. Thank you so much. You just won 4 DNA kits. Congratulations. The RootsTech runner is on their way to give you your prize.
That's exciting. She's going to get all the results. All right, 2016 marked a shift. We had our new Family Search CEO, Steve Rockwood, come to the stage for the first time. He came with a vision of genealogists as heart specialists. We turned to focus on healing in the family, and our audience had grown to over 26,000 attendees. We had a bright future ahead, and this future included Find My Past partnership with Family Search to create the largest online collection of U.S. marriage records. Now, we all know that it is inadvisable to forget an anniversary. So, to come full circle with his first year to his fifth, we'd like to welcome back to the stage Family Search International CEO, Steve Rockwood.
Thank you, Whitney. Thank you, Jalapeno. Lillian, you'll see at RootsTech and at Family Search, we don't believe in or, we believe in and. So you got all of those kits. So as you can see, the evolution of RootsTech serves as a great illustration of how the industry continues to grow and evolve. You genealogists and family history researchers are, in a sense, family tree farmers. You plant, nurture, and meticulously take care of your family trees. And RootsTech in the beginning was like a tech conference for tree farmers. The conference then grew significantly in size and scope to include those who wanted to learn how to grow their own family trees. Beginners, enthusiasts, home growers, do-it-yourselfers. They included mothers and fathers, children, and teenagers. They came with various levels of experience and from new parts of the world. They came to learn from you, the best in the business, on how to create their own strong and flourishing trees. Now, we welcome a variety of people to RootsTech that come from totally different industries, backgrounds, and intentions. We welcome those of you who come from the government, education, science, medicine, religion, the travel industry, and other industries just to see what's here. We know that some of you, you want to learn how to build your own trees, but many of you simply came to discover the fruit on those trees. When you discover the stories, the photos, the records, the relationships that are in those trees, you then discover the fruit that comes from that experience. The fruit of love, joy, peace, resilience, confidence, connection, and belonging. When you taste the fruit, you naturally then want to share it with others. And that's what RootsTech's about. So now there's home growers and DIYers, and those that are just here to connect your families past, present, and future. Now, you know better than anyone else that family history is not just a journey into the past. It is a story that's continuously being written with pages from the past and moments of today that will continue to live on in the future. Your story matters. And we don't just study family history, we live family history. That's why our theme this year is the story of you. Let me show you what I mean. obviously, to fully discover the story of you, we of course must reconstruct your family story of the past. And to do so, we have to have these incredible innovations of the future. Please come to the Innovation and Tech Forum tomorrow and to many other classes here at RootsTech, where we will share with you our plans on how we'll be accelerating the efforts to digitize, index, and publish historical records from archives, and to build trees in over 200 homelands. So we will spend plenty of time on that while you're here on the past. But do you mind if just for a few minutes, let's talk about the present and what lies within our own homes and our own families. Within your own homes, the photos, the stories, the family trees, the journals, the videos, and now the social media posts and your own DNA files contribute to the story of you. And you literally are your own archivists. And not just in your home, but also in the homes of your parents and your grandparents and your kids and your aunts and your uncles and cousins. Let me show you what I mean with that. I want you to hear something that I listen to at least once a day, every day. I'm sorry, it gets me every time. That's a recording of my new grandson with his dad. It cracks me up. It's my lift me up every day. They live thousands of miles away, and his laugh as a baby is not going to be around for long. Thankfully, my daughter-in-law captured that moment on Marco Polo and shared it with the family. Now, can I show you something else? My 4 sons created an Instagram account about our family hero, my mom, Grandma Marion. They decided to take turns each week to call Grandma on the phone and simply ask her 1 or 2 questions. Then they sit back and let her go to town telling stories. They record the conversation and then post the stories along with a few photos on Instagram. Sometimes they write the story down, other times they just play Grandma's recorded voice. I had never seen this photo before just a few weeks ago. And for the first time, I can actually see my niece's face in Grandma's face. This week, I put a little bit of my heritage color magic on it. Look how it comes to life now. What my boys have done is so cool on so many levels. First, my sweet mom has felt this weight on her shoulders for years, thinking that she needed to write down her personal and family history. It's been like a term paper hanging over her head. Now she is writing her history without lifting a finger, one story at a time. And the only price that mom has to pay is to spend some one-on-one time with her grandchildren. Hello, she lives for that. I love how my boys tapped into this incredible power of simple conversations. They're doing exactly what Ancestry's been portraying so beautifully in some recent ads. Let's watch just one of those ads.
Whoa. Is this real gold? Where'd it come from?
You know, I'm not sure.
Who's Peter Samuel?
Daddy?
Yeah?
Who's Peter?
Well, sweetie, he's your great-great-grandfather. Does he look like me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turn questions you've always had into stories you can't wait to share with Ancestry.
Now, did you notice what prompted the stories that were shared there? A watch prompted a question. A photo illustrated an answer. Both led to normal and natural conversations between a son and his mother, and then he as a father with his daughter, generation later. Now, there was a lot of technology, records, and family trees required to facilitate those moments, but at the end, it all boiled down to simple family conversations. We at Family Search believe a key ingredient of the future of our industry lies in how we connect the living to the living to have more simple conversations. We create inspiring experiences that prompt inspired questions that lead to inspiring answers as we seek to discover, gather, and connect our families, past, present, and future. As those inspiring experiences occur within families, it brings them joy that they then want to share. This empowering fruit of joy. Now, speaking of joy, due to my son's efforts, my mom doesn't have to touch anything technical. Grandma Marion is 88 years old. Sorry, Mom. It's in the script. Sorry. Grandma Marion is 88 years old and of a different generation. Now, true story, she will tell you that her Find My Friends app is in the daily obituaries in the newspaper. With all of our amazing whiz-bang technology and science, sometimes we run the risk of forcing technology on everyone. I'm so indebted to my boys that all of the technology stayed on their side of the phone while Mom was just able to talk. Here's another thing that I love about what the boys did. I'm so impressed but not surprised that my boys are doing all of this totally on their own. Nobody asked them to do this, and they're doing a 10 times better job than I or my brothers or my sisters could ever do. They do what's natural to them, and they let Grandma do what's natural to her. I'm telling you, I have learned throughout the years when it comes to family discovery and family history, we just need to get out of the way of the young people and let them go at it, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. I love that my boys chose Instagram because they knew that that's where their cousins are. As a result, the whole family could get involved, and it's so cool to see the comments from the other grandkids and watch them jump in. Now, Grandma doesn't even use Instagram, but that doesn't matter. When we're with her, we open up the app and let her see what the family's sharing. We know that platforms, they come and go. So what's hot today is old school tomorrow, and so we don't get hung up on the tool du jour. It's the content that we want. And we make sure that we archive the really, really good stuff on FamilySearch.org. I've also joined in the fun myself, using the Family Search Memories app. And at times, and I've done this with permission with my mom, but she doesn't know I'm always doing it. I got her consent a couple years ago. But she knows there are times I'll ask her a question, and then I'll just push record and let Mom just talk. And I'm getting it all right here. These are the memories of Grandma Marion that we want to preserve on Family Search forever. My mom's here tonight. I promise you, Mom, all that you are and all that you've taught us will never be forgotten. We will make sure your story lives on forever, and we thank you for that story. The story of my mom has not been an easy one. It's had plenty of triumphs and trials, but as a two-time widow, she has not just survived, she has thrived and made sure that her story of you is indeed a story of joy. My mom's a living example of what President Russell M. Nelson has taught. The joy we feel has little to do with the circumstances of our lives and everything to do with the focus of our lives. Mom, thank you for making us the focus of your life. Now, these two examples from my family illustrate where we believe the future of family history lies. Number one, experience the moments of your family with your family each day. And number two, capture those moments in ways that are normal and natural to each of you. So there you go. Now let me end with a sense of urgency and opportunity. I think most of you are aware of Family Search's extensive efforts to save the names and stories of hundreds of millions of people by capturing the oral histories from the rememberers in villages and tribes of Africa, the islands, and of other indigenous people. We're so blessed to have the resources to do that, and it's a monumental task, and we're in a race against time and will to capture those stories that are stories at risk before it's too late. But aren't there many more stories at risk within the walls of our own homes and amongst the rememberers in our own families? I love how Google illustrated this so beautifully during the Super Bowl a few weeks ago. Look what is possible when you empower a family rememberer to remember what is dear with the help of a few photos and a couple of simple questions powered by a bit of artificial intelligence.
Hey Google, show me photos of Loretta. Remember, Loretta hated my mustache. Remember, Loretta loved going to Alaska and scallops. Show me photos from our anniversary. Remember, she always snorted when she laughed. Play our favorite movie. Remember, I'm the luckiest man in the world. Come on, boy.
So here's my question for you. Who are the Grandma Marians in your life? Is she your mom or your dad? Your grandma or your grandpa? Is he your son or is she your daughter? Is it your spouse? Your aunt or uncle? It might be your neighbor or a member of your community who could really use your help to capture their story. Are you the Grandma Marian? Do you just need some help to capture your story in ways that are normal and natural to you? Has your Grandma Marian come to mind? Has she touched your heart yet? Now, you knew I was going to do this eventually. You knew I was going to have you guys talk to each other. So please, I want you to turn to your neighbor and have a short, very simple conversation and share just this. Who came to your mind of someone that you can help capture their story? Who's your Grandma Marian? And how are you going to help him or her capture their story? Now, everyone needs to do this. Turn to your neighbor, turn behind you if you need to. Ready, set, go. seconds. All right, I apologize for interrupting. Thank you very, very much. Now, there's one person in this whole hall that cheated. Is my niece Katie. She said, my grandma Marion is Grandma Marion. So let's get together and find more ways to capture the story of you and of the story of those around you, even your Grandma Marion's, so that she doesn't have to research you in the future. Now, before we go, I have one more moment of joy that I have to share with you. This is another thing I listen to every single day, at least once a day. That's my other grandson with his dad. That is pure joy. You gotta love it. Thank you, everyone. Let's start talking with each other.
Whoa, this is so cool.
This is incredible. Can the audience see what I'm seeing? Oh, let's fix that.
Whitney, are you still on the stage?
Kind of. I'm visiting one of my homelands.
Where are you?
I'm in Denmark. Oh, home of Hans Christian Andersen and many of my ancestors. There he is. Jonathan, where are you?
I'm in China, also where my ancestors are from. I'm on the Great Wall of China.
Whoa, that's so cool.
Hey, cousin. Oh. This is so neat.
This is amazing. It really is like you're walking in your ancestors' footsteps.
And all of you can have the opportunity to do the exact same thing in the expo hall in the virtual reality booth.
Jonathan, don't you think that someone might want to do that at home?
I think so. Should we give one away?
I think so. Yeah? Okay, sounds good to me. Are you guys ready? We have drawn a random name, and it looks like the VR headset, sponsored by Cornerstone, will be going to Rose March from Wyoming. Where are you, Rose?
Rose. Right over here. Give her a hand.
Stand up. A RootsTech runner is on their way to you with your new VR headset. And don't worry, it's not one of the ones that we use.
All right, let's continue our walk down memory lane. 2017 was the year of food and family. Here at RootsTech, we celebrated family traditions with family recipes, food, and stories. We welcomed the Cake Boss, Balastro, and the Property Brothers, Drew and Jonathan Scott, to the stage. We celebrated African heritage with dance and music and special keynotes, including a moving keynote from LeVar Burton. CeCe Moore also gave us a glimpse into the connective power of DNA.
Meanwhile, amazing things were happening in the industry. MyHeritage entered the DNA arena by launching MyHeritage DNA,
DNA was on the brain of everyone, and we were finding we were more connected than we ever thought possible.
Connection became a huge focus in 2018's RootsTech as we introduced the new theme, Connect, Belong. This theme proved to be one of the most powerful yet, as we explored connections in our family trees and found belonging with others throughout RootsTech.
Many of the RootsTech family discovered new cousins using relatives at RootsTech on the Family Search app. Who here has already found relatives on the app? Fantastic.
We heard stories of connection on the main stage from Humans of New York's Brandon Stanton, Olympian Scott Hamilton, and fascinating stories of family history from Skip Gates and the moving music of Natalia Lafourcade.
We celebrated culture and heritage and storytelling through dance and music and celebration with Luz de las Naciones. And in the industry, together we've accomplished a great deal. The possibilities for connection and discovery were well beyond the thousands. Our partners were also excelling. Ancestry hit 10 million people in its consumer DNA network, making it the largest in the world. Find My Past acquired Twile and RootsFinder.
MyHeritage's total number of historic records reached over 9 billion. And 23andMe's DNA testing expanded to 120 regions. The industry continued to grow, and we were all excited about what the future of the industry would look like and how we would shape it together.
We caught a glimpse of how we could shape the future together last year. In 2019, as 30,000 of the RootsTech family gathered together here at the Salt Palace, with over 120,000 streaming the live event, there was a special electricity in the air.
That electricity filled the stage as Patricia Heaton of Everybody Loves Raymond, Saru Brierley, the inspiration of the phenomenal film Lion, and musical wonder Jake Shimabukuro took the stage as our keynotes. And who can forget Derek Huff literally getting us out of our seats and dancing.
RootsTech 2019 didn't just focus on tech in the industry, it also focused on healing. For many of us, reconnecting with our stories can be difficult, but as we move through the process, it can become healing. We were honored to hear from Martin Luther King III, who spoke of healing and connection to faith and family through the Family History Center at the IAA Museum.
We continue to broaden our view and understanding of the far-reaching effects of family history, not only in connecting peoples across the world, descendants to their homelands, but also the full power of family history to heal and the emotional impact of these discoveries.
Last year, broadening our view included expanding RootsTech to our friends and family in London. Last October, we had an amazing adventure as Family Search hosted RootsTech London for the very first time. Here to talk to us a bit more about how that experience went, we'd like to welcome to the stage RootsTech Events Manager, Jen Allen.
Thanks, Jonathan. Thanks to everyone who joined us last October. In fact, I'm actually a little curious. How many of you out there were there with us just a few months ago in London? Let's hear it. Nice. Pretty good. Yeah, it was amazing. In fact, we had people show up in numbers that we literally could not believe. Our keynote speakers ranged from Dan Snow to Nick Barrett, Kadena Cox, and the one and only Donny Osmond. We had speakers and classes from all over the world. In fact, instead of me telling you about it, let's take a look.
Well, I've just come off the stage at RootsTech London. It was super exciting. It feels like a rock concert for people that like family history. It's one of the most professional conferences and gatherings I've ever been to. There's a feeling here that everyone's united by a common desire to learn about their family's past and to share that with other like-minded people.
I just feel proud, honoured, humbled to have been asked to come here and help host and launch RootsTech outside of the US. Having it here in my hometown is just the most incredible experience.
The opportunities are like never before now. Technology has given us all the power that previously was reserved to just a handful of very wealthy and powerful families. We each carry around in our pocket a supercomputer capable of searching the entire written records of human history if they're digitized. You cannot understand us as individuals, you cannot understand us as families, as societies, as nation states, unless you understand what has gone before.
Wasn't that amazing? We loved it so much that I am happy to be here today to announce that RootsTech will be back in London again this year. So please mark your calendars. It'll be November 5th through the 7th. We'll be at XL London again, and we hope you will all join us. And registration is now open. Thank you.
That is amazing. Isn't that exciting? Thank you, Jen. I know we were all looking forward to another wonderful year in London. Jonathan, what are you doing?
Look at my flight.
Jonathan.
You know how early you have to do those sorts of things.
Yeah, but let's just finish the show and then we can get on to that.
Okay, you're right.
Because I think we've still got another prize to give away.
We do. Should we do it?
Yeah.
Last year was truly memorable. One for the family scrapbook. But to make the scrapbook, you first need pictures. And we've got something we'd like to give away that should make that a little bit easier. It's time for our last grand prize giveaway. We're going to give away a Canon camera sponsored by Pictureline. And to sweeten this up, because it is the grand prize, we're going to throw in a scanner sponsored by Epson. I mean, you need some way to get those pictures onto your computer, right? And onto your family history accounts. So ready? The winner is Judy Peerlett from Utah, our first winner from Utah. Over here.
Wonderful.
Congratulations. A RootsTech runner will come bring you your prize.
Well, that brings us up to 2020. And here we are, celebrating 10 years of RootsTech. Looking forward to our amazing keynote, David Kennerly and Emmett Smith.
And who's excited for our RootsTech evening event featuring comedian Ryan Hamilton?
Excellent. But we're actually not quite done with the giveaway yet, because each and every one of you is an essential part of this industry. And the reason we've had 10 amazing RootsTechs, we want to celebrate you. So at the end of this event, you will receive a special pin to commemorate both 10 years of RootsTechs and your own amazing contribution to this thriving industry. We could not do any of this without you, so thank you.
We have one last video we're going to watch before we set you loose on the conference to go enjoy the expo hall.
This one's all about you.
And it's a message from a few familiar faces.
We cannot wait to see what you do with the future. We hope you enjoy.
You. Often downplayed behind the scenes.
Too often we fail to acknowledge ourselves and the obstacles we faced and accomplished to be here today.
This is a moment to honor both the strength of those who came before us,
as well as the strength it takes for each of us to show up for our own experience today.
You are a unique combination of thoughts, experiences, and personality.
all of it uniquely our own.
We all come from generations of yous that were survivors.
Storytellers.
Legends. We are the yous of today. Our lives have purpose and meaning. There are gifts that only you can give to your family, your friends, and your community. To the world.
Celebrate.
Embrace.
Share the story of you.
It's worth it.
Why?
Because the yous of tomorrow are watching.
Here's to the next 10 years!
Feels like I'm in heaven. Got you on my mind, 24/7 on girl. Now my world is filled with peace. Since you're around, I go. Since you are around, I always smile. Now here it is.
Courtesy of this guy who built this tower and this look at this. We do a lot of that. Low budget, high output. You can see too. Yeah, so Ooh, I want one. I want one. I want one. They're cool. It's a red and white one behind bag. Yeah, bag. You'll see it.
Starting 3, 2, 1. 1.5. Everyone. Okay, we're going to be starting a class here pretty soon. This is an introduction to the Family History Guide. So if you'd like to learn about it, get some insight, tips, and so on, come on up and have it started momentarily. Hey. That would be 11 cents. So how many of you are so, okay. No heckling. Very sensitive. Who does that? All right. Okay, so are any of you brand new to that? You have not fixed it, and you used it. Okay. So a couple of basics. The Family History Guide is free, and you can access it by going to www.thefhguide.com. Yeah, there's those cards you can pick up. So when you access the website, you can learn about family search, ancestry, my past, pretty much anything step by step. And you can also do research a lot of different things. The Family History Guide puts all these resources together and it's kind of like connects the dots. So you don't have to spend your time Googling and searching and wondering what to do next. It's all laid out step by step. The website launched in 2015, so it's been about 5 years. But Family Search has approved it as a training aid. So the Family History Library downtown, BYU, St. George, Riverton, all of them train new missionaries on Family Search by using the Christian History. It's a very easy and systematic way to do that. So I will walk through some of the ways that you can get into the Family History. If you have any questions as I'm going along, just raise your hand. You know? Okay. So across the top, this is how you navigate the Family History Guide. You have this series of drop tabs that you search. So if I wanted to learn something about Family Search, for example, I would hover over that menu and I could say, let's say Family Tree. And then across here, these are tools. And you can click any one of these to learn more about what you're interested in. So you have some flexibility. You don't have to start at pinpoint with everything. Let's say you're interested in how to add ancestors. So I click and then I have step-by-step instructions with links to articles and videos. Yeah, I'd like to learn how to find some easy information. Well, then there you go. One click, and you got to go right to the source. So you can learn family history in as little as 15 minutes a day. Simply deciding, okay, this is what I'm interested in. Check mark. I need to watch that video. I need to read this article. I need to think about it. And the next time I'll come back. Rather than, okay, where do I start? What do I do? I'm searching myself around in circles. And before you know it, you're just tired. Oh, that was long. Family History Guide takes a lot of that work out. So you can actually even this split screen. You can do half of your screen with Family Search, for example, and the other half of the screen with Family History Guide. So you're reading something in the Family History Guide, and then you can try it out on Family Search. And you see this, let's go number 1 here. There's a show me, and if you want to see stuff like an actual mouse moving demonstration, moving like first and second, you can watch one of the show videos for that. How long is it? The show videos have been around almost a year. But we're adding more each time. So there's one we added just like a couple weeks ago. We keep adding more. Okay, so that's pretty much, and you can also do memories. Like, how many of you have memorized all the steps it takes to upload photos and Family Search? Because you do it often, right? If you ever forget, or if you need to show somebody else, there you go. All the steps are right there. Now, if you're a step-by-step reader person, you can use the steps here. If you want to read an article and you learn better that way, you can read articles. Okay. Let's go back over here to the info menu, and I'll show you a few things for navigating around the country. You should be familiar with this topic here at the bottom. I click that, and I get, how many of you are old enough to remember Yellow Pages? Okay, we're showing our age there. So this is like a Yellow Pages for the Family History Guide. If I wanted to learn about adoption records, I click that, and immediately, okay, that's how we learn about adoption records. So you can find pretty much anything you need to know in alphabetical direction. Other things, for people that are just learning, this is just for teaching other people that get started. Link here. And the nice thing about this is that you get to choose what category resonates with you at the moment, what you might be interested in, or what a new learner might be interested in. So you can learn about family tree, you can learn about memories, activities, research, whatever you're interested in. Speaking of research, let's go over across the top to this entry that says countries. I'm going to click all countries. Who has a favorite country that you're doing research on? Italy. Okay, so I click on Italy. And here you've got the goals across the top, similar to what we've seen before. Yes, questions? This is 933. So across the top here, we have all these different topics, such as civil registration. I click that, for example, and I've got links to articles and videos, some of the best of the best for any Italian research. You see this lightning bolt across the top? That means that these are quick links. So I could scroll down and see these quick links here. Family search, Italy, births and baptisms. That sounds interesting. And look what happens. I go right to a family search screen for that particular record book. So I didn't have to wing my way all the way through family search trying to figure out how am I going to find it. You read about it, you're ready to search, one click, and there you go. So it takes a lot of the work and the effort out of what you're doing. That's it. You know, family search research is challenging enough. But when you add on the burden of having to reinvent the wheel and find your own tools, make fire with a bow and a match, or whatever the analogy is, it's time consuming. No wonder you get tired and burned out. So the family history guide, no, it should get something faster. That's countries. And of course we have also, one other thing I'll show you is in the United States, there's a lot more topics here. There's immigration, adoption, military. So if I did military by conflict, for example, I could go to Revolutionary War, Civil War. Look how. Okay. Yes. Question. You're part of the tree. Yeah, once you're in the record, you can use the family search methods for attaching a record name or a source to your family search tree. Now, the family history guide does not have any records. That's important to know. If you click on it quickly, it will take you to the search screen. Then you do the search for your ancestor on that record collection, and you will get the results. So what the family history guide does, it's an intermediary. It saves you all the time of going around and trying to figure out where do I go. And then once you found your ancestors' record, then you use the attachment methods of family search or ancestor or whatever tool you use. Okay, activities. You've got all these built-in activities for families, anytime activities, games, videos, instructions, and so forth. And there's also activities for kids. There's also something we put out called the Come Follow Me campaign. So if you're familiar with Come Follow Me, this is like the family history version of that. So if I go to the schedule here in the upper left, and we're about there, and I see family history, activities, videos, talks, links, and so on. So this is a great way to expand what you're going to study. That would be 11 cents. Yes. Yes. That works totally fine. You know, when your ward discovers the Come Follow Me kids can do things, the adults, families together, and it's just it springboards into family history, but it connects, it correlates with what's going on in the world as well. Yes. Oh, there you go. I like that. Very good. Okay. One other thing to show, I've got a. This started at 6:30. Okay. Okay. Another thing to show here is the vault. In the family history guide, one of the ways that we keep people from feeling like it's flooded with too much information is that for any particular step, there will only be one or a maximum of 2 articles of video. That way, you don't feel responsible. Oh, boy, look at these 11 articles I'm supposed to read now. Just 1 or 2. However, we all know that there's more out there than that. So, when you're looking for extra information, you go to the place called the vault. So I'll show that to you. Here's the main page of the vault. And you notice across the top here are all these categories. And it's just about anything you can think of in the family history. So Steve Rockwell was talking about interviewing. So let's put that. And here you have links to all these different articles from archives.com, Find My Past, Legacy Tree, and so forth. And stories, videos, articles. So you could spend lots of time having fun with these additional resources. All sorted out by whatever chapters, U.S. Cemetery, whatever topic you're in, you can just get there and find additional There's also a tracker. One of the things that helps you stay motivated is if you can figure out what have I done in my family history, where do I have to go. So we actually have an online tracker, and this is the only part of the family history guide that needs a login. Otherwise, when you're using the family history guide, you just type in the URL, go there, no much in the question right there. Incidentally, there is no app for the family history guide. The website is mobile friendly, so if you use it on a phone or a tablet, it will automatically detect what you're using and it will adjust the screen that way. But back to the story here, online tracker, you can create a free account with username and password, and I'm going to use his, steal his. And here we go, this is Project One Family Tree, and you can take notes about anything you're learning here, and you have these slider bars. You can move them back and forth to say, I have not started, I have started, I'm at good level, and or I'm at deficient level with a particular skill. And the way you can measure whether you're good or proficient, back in the in the steps for a particular skill, there's an exercise. You click that, and it says to achieve good skills, do this. To achieve proficient skill, do this. Okay, I did those, so I moved the slider bar, and there you go. You've got all of your history. He hasn't worked on the whole thing. These are kind of fake values, just for demonstration purposes. Yeah, it's like a scorecard. Yes, for yourself. However, the cool part is that consultants can actually use the group. I'll show you that really quickly. Use the group reports. And you have to get the full story on that, you have to come back to stuff. So I'll give you the short version here. And that is, if you share your email, let's suppose that I'm a consultant and I have 10, 15 people on a board. I'd like to see how they're progressing as a family history learning. So I collect their email addresses with their permission, and I create a reporting group. And then I can actually run reports against the online traffic database and come up with bar charts to show me over time, oh, this many people got a good level and this particular skill, or that skill, or you can see their learning measures and progress measures over time through these reporting groups. It's actually pretty cool, and it measures hundreds and thousands of possible different skills. Yes, it is not, it's about your learning. That's right, it's about your learning. So to track which ancestors you got vital things or whatever you're trying to track that way, you can use research logs. And we have a whole, we do have a discovery and a research section in the Family History Guide with all sorts of research tips, solving problems, brick walls, all sorts of things. It's really good. And there is even, one of my favorites is the knowledge base. This is fairly new. So it's a research knowledge base, and let's say I'm interested in African Americans. All you do is click on the topic and you get some instant, fast food information that's easy to digest in just a few minutes. So I could open all these topics and look how much information. You can see the bar here. Or I can close them back up and you can passenger list. Yes. That is in, yeah, any of these learning tabs here, you can just go to knowledge base. So that was the knowledge base. And there's actually a country knowledge base. Oh, if I go over to countries, and it goes way down to the bottom. Countries. Okay, any questions? How did I get into here? I went to the countries, and you drop down all the way at the bottom is the countries knowledge base. And then I just pick a country or a topic and click it. Yeah. And here's all your countries: Denmark, immediately, census, immediately. The 15-minute approach and okay. So intro, the second link down is called 15 minutes. And this shows you how you can be successful in progressing with family history 15 minutes a day or 15 minutes at a time. It's got suggestions for where to target your energies and research and so forth, how to fit family history into life. This is great for people who keep saying, I don't have time to do family history. I'm sorry. Yes, actually you do. If you can segment it into 15 minutes at a time, you can make some great progress. And you said show me video? Okay. So, for example, in Family Search Family Tree, you have, this is goal 1. I can switch to goal 2, and here's a show me video. Goal 2 there's another show me video. So there's show me videos for practically anything here. If I click one, I go to a YouTube video and I can play the video. So for people who are visually oriented and need to see the actual movements, the show me videos are very handy. They're done by James Hanley. James Tanner is our director of Ah, yes. Great Arizona person. Any other questions? This is the type of thing you take it home, you play with it, you can discover new things all the time. One of the 10 free studios. Oh, it's for trainers and consultants. Need to adapt. I'm not told. I don't know that we have specific. But there are videos about, like, for instance, research, and you can click those and go directly to that. So I'm not exactly sure what that is. Any other questions? Yes. Here's your country. Got it? So on the countries menu, there's two ways you can handle it. You can do all countries, which we already did, or you can click one of these regions like British Isles and see it opens up a submenu. And you say, oh, Ireland, that's what I want. And they were have fun, share it with your friends, be sure to get some green castle and guard. And we'll be starting the training and consulting class. That's one of the cool things with the family history guide is we'll cover this session. You don't need to spend time filling this PowerPoint decks and handouts and that type of thing. You can just go through the website. A lot of people say, no, I can't do that. I have to have a PowerPoint. See, that's a lot of people say yes. I know the people who are used to doing that. We go, can I really do that? Yes. That's right. That's one of the downsides. And then you share the deck, and what if it gets out of date? And who's responsible? Just stick with the website. Be updated. You said miscellaneous. Oh, what's new? pizza? Okay, every guy as a family history consultant or trainer and helping other people with that. So that's what we'll be starting up in just a couple minutes. Okay. Are you Sister Molly? Miles Myers, right? I recognize you from this, but well, thanks for doing it. Okay, what do you do? Help me. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. How many of you are, is anyone not familiar with the Family History Guide? Have never seen it, never, not familiar. All right, so you're kind of jumping into the deeper end of the swimming pool a little bit because this session is for consultants and trainers on how to use the Family History Guide to assist us. But having said that, I'll give just a quick, like 3 or 4 minute overview of the Family History Guide to teach you up to speed. So the Family History Guide is free. It's approved by Family Search as a training resource, but we're not part of Family Search. We're our own separate nonprofit. So I will show you how to get around basically of the Family History Guide. If you have one of those green pass-along cards. It has the website address. VFHguide.com. Here's the homepage. Across the top is your key to navigating the Family History Guide. It's got drop-down menus that can take you pretty much anywhere you need to go. So as a quick tip, I would recommend in the intro menu going down here to topics. And some of the people in the previous class admitted they were old enough to remember yellow pages. So this is like the old yellow pages thing. So if I wanted to learn about adoption records, one click and there you go. So anything you can think of in the Family History Guides. There's also a search icon here, and you can click that and you can do a Google custom search inside the site if you can't find it at the top. All right, so that's something. There's also Get Started, lots of other helpful links there. One other thing I'll show you. These are the learning paths. So if you want to learn about family search, you would just click, for example, family tree, and you have all these different goals here that you could work on. Let's say navigate. It's got everything from creating an account, and these are links to articles and videos that help you learn, but it's step by step. So you can take a brand new learner and say, you want to learn family search? Here's your outline right there, step by step. Read the articles, watch the videos, and let me know if you have questions. So it's a great tool. You, as a consultant or trainer, you do not have to keep having a person coming back to you and say, okay, I did that, what do I do next? If they're using the Family History Guide, they know what to do next. They just follow the outline. And they can skip things they already know. Here's a good way to skip things. I can use this close choices button. All the content disappeared and all I see are the choices. That gives me a good idea of, oh, this is the one I want. Click it again and I open it up and there's all the good stuff. Okay, it's flexible learning. Okay, ancestry the same way. Get started, and you notice that they are ancestry processes. So you can learn any of these paths, ancestry, family search, minority. There's also a complete countries section here, and you can explore whatever your favorite country is. Sweden, okay, so we go to Sweden. And you've got, again, across the top, Bible records, church and cemetery. Anything with a lightning bolt, you click it, and you've not only got the articles and video links, but you've also got these quick links. Ancestry.com Sweden Church Records. Look how easy it was to start searching that. One click, I didn't have to wing my way all the way through Ancestry figuring out where am I going to find this. You read about it, you click, you're ready to go. Okay. So that is your 3-minute overview, and I've skipped 97, 98% of the website, but that's okay. If you know the topics page and you know these navigation things here, you're fine. Okay. So let's talk about some of the challenges. What are the challenges that we face as family history consultants for trainers? Let's throw a few out. Brand new people being called who don't know what the dad happens over and over again. And they go, why was I called? Okay. And then you hear some success stories. But the thing about the Family History Guide is that it provides a built-in training method for new learners. You can help them learn family search or research, whatever they need to know using the Family History Guide. Barbara. Okay, so Barbara's point is a good one. You may sit down with a new consultant or a new learner and say, okay, here is how you attach a search, for example. Wow, that's really cool. And then you can open where they can't forget. So what did she say? Oh, shoot, I can't remember all of that. Okay. even if they take notes, but the family history guide just steps all there. So, she's talking about classes. We'll get to that. There's some really cool stuff you can do class-wise. First of all, I want to point out something. We as consultants think that we need to be the library. We need to know everything. Because what if somebody walks in the door at the Family History Center or in your board or whatever and asks you a question? You know, in the back of your mind, isn't like, well, I'm supposed to know all that stuff, right? I thought that myself. So the Family History Guide helps you be the librarian, not the library. Makes sense? All you need to do is to be able to find things and help someone out. I have a story. The whole Family History Guide originated when I was working as a consultant at San Diego Family History Center. And people would come by and ask the same question that we have to read. I should put a website without returning the Family History Guide. But I remember one week, I had two people. One person was asking me a question, and then I heard those impatient footsteps behind, like somebody originally needs to stop. And normally you say, okay, just hold on a second, and help this other person. But the thought came to me, no, ask them what the question is. So I said, okay, hold on just a minute. What is your question? And he asked what his question was. So now I have two questions on the line. So I turned to the second person and said, if you go to the Family History site, go to Project One and go to whatever it was, and just read and watch that video for a few minutes, and I'll get back to you. Like, oh, okay. So we went over there, and I was helping the first person. I finished. And then I turned around, and this gentleman was heading out the door. And he went, what did I do? And he said, no, thanks, I got it. Bye. On an interest. He has solved his own problem. So if you can help people solve their own problems rather than you having to be the golden repository for all knowledge. So what do? Now they're more motivated because they learn something themselves and they're, whoa, and what's next? I show you what you can do now. Then they're off and running and you're not the gatekeeper of all that. So let's talk about classes. Using the Family History Guide is a great way to teach classes. And the preconceived notion with classes is that you have to build PowerPoint decks and handouts and all that type of thing. That's how people traditionally do classes. You see it all over RootsTech, obviously. The Family History Guide is a little different, kind of a mold breaker that way. You can teach classes right from the family history without having to build PowerPoint decks and that's revolutionary. That is a game changer. For example, if I had to teach, okay, I am not an expert. Any experts in Norwegian research? Sister, short. Okay, but what if you had to teach an overview about Norwegian research? Kind of freak out. What you could do is you could go to the Family History Guide, read over the first couple of goals, and then go through and select the articles and videos that you want to focus on, and you could share enough relevant, important information with those people that they could get a start. Without you having to be a full-time expert in Norwegian research, you can find the information you want to share, and it's right there on the website. You can take it home and you can follow up. Yes. Yes, So one thing that helps us with that concept of building these classes, in the trainer's menu, it's about halfway across the top here, there's a thing we call the course catalog. So I'm going to go down here, put that, and I scroll down a little bit, and basically there's all these different courses that you could build right off of the family history guide. It's kind of like Legos. So you say, oh, you need 20 minutes on this, or half an hour. You've got mini classes that are just 20 minutes long, or a full-length hour class, and you do it by combining goals. 2 or 3 goals would fill up an hour easily. The more complicated the goal, the more time. So you assess how long your learning is. If they're really basic, you may be only able to cover half of it in 45 minutes. But the important thing is just to go with the flow of the class and help them learn. And you can compare this stuff simply by, okay, I want that goal and that goal, that's what we're going to cover in that class. And you don't have to make up all the content because the content's right there in the history guide. And then they get to go home and you don't have to send them notes and forms and they don't bug you about, can I take your slides? What if they get outdated? No. It's all on the website. Just take it home. Another thing, how many of you have ever taught a class where the people are not all on the same level? So you've got some beginners, and then you've got some people that are, can we please move on? What do you do? You can't, if you move on, then you leave the beginners behind, and if you stay with the beginners pace, and the experienced people are in milk. Okay, so the family history guide actually has somewhat of a solution for that. So, and I've done this, and it tends to work pretty well. In a mixed levels class, you basically go a little bit above the slowest person. Hope yourself come on. But what you say to the more experienced people is, okay, those of you that are more familiar with this, here's what you do. You go down to the rest of the goals, read this article, and you'll be a little bit ahead of us, and then we'll catch up to you and we'll have a discussion. You see what I'm doing? I'm giving them something to do. If I were, that's one of the reasons I got in trouble in elementary school, is because I was a little on the gifted side, and my teacher got me in trouble. Said, you must stay with the rest of the class. Do not deviate. One of those teachers. And so I got in trouble for talking and disrupting the class and all that stuff. But it was because I was hungry. I wanted to learn more. I wanted to learn faster. So you can help the faster learners by doing that. Okay, so there's classes, individual mentoring. We talked about that. Families today is great. There's also in the menu here, you've got audiences. So you could, these are tips for groups, families, individuals, consultants, beginners. Let's talk about training consultants here. Because you mentioned that you have new consultants. So here is a good outline of how to use the family history guide as a way to train consultants. We actually have a slide deck that you can present to help train new consultants. Now, it's important to note that this is not the church training, so to speak. We are not training you on your calling to replace anything that you find on Family Search and churchofjesuschrist.org. How are you? However, this is a supplement to it. It's kind of like an accelerant that you're moving faster, and it helps you get in the flow of things. So you can use a slide deck. There's other information here, step-by-step suggestions and so forth. Another tool that you can use is the Come Follow Me companion. So if I'm up here in face, you'll notice there's a Church of Jesus Christ option here. By the way, that helps you help other people understand the entire ordinance process, what the icons mean, reserving, printing, all the whole 9 yards there. But another resource is the Come Follow Me companion. Anyone familiar with that? Okay, you're getting some nods. So Come Follow Me, you know what that is. The Come Follow Me companion is a family history version of Come Follow Me. So if you go over to the schedule in the upper left, you click that, we're about right here, correct? And so see, we've got similar themes and so forth, but videos, articles, activities, all about history to complement what you can do or gospel-centered, home-centered structure. This is great for families and kids. They can all participate, and it gives a real family history focus to the individual gospel studies. And we keep like a week or two ahead of the game. Our marketing, in the white blouse there, and Jill Anderson, she does these lessons. We did an entire New Testament year last year. That was like running a marathon. Now she has an assistant who does two of them, but she's doing the Book of Mormon lessons now. Keep a couple of weeks ahead. So right after RootsTech, we got to get back to the treadmill and pump out some more lessons. But it's very enjoyable. Any other questions so far? Oh, no, this is not a book. This is just online. Yeah, so all you have, the church produces a book. Of course, we don't have the budget to produce many more books. In fact, some people ask us, where can I get the printed version of the Family History Guide? And I would say, do you have a luggage cart? Because there's so much in it, and then it changes so often that like you have to be certifiably crazy to try to keep that thing up to date. And it's hard enough to do it just online. So but having said that, you can print out whatever you need to print out yourself, and that works. Incidentally, there's a website called Cindy's List, and if you've ever heard of Cindy's List, do you know how many links are on Cindy's List? On her website, she said there's about 330,000 links. So one Saturday when I had nothing constructive to do, I thought to myself, okay, 330,000 links. Let's suppose that each link, maybe there's 5 pages worth of printed material, and you print those pages double-sided, and you stack the paper on your desk. How high do you think that stack of paper? A couple of stories. You're disqualified. The answer is about 270 feet for the size of a California plate of paper, double-sided on your desk. So when people say there's a lot of information, right? There's a lot of information. The Family History Guide narrows it down, focuses it so you can have around and find what's simpler. Family History Library downtown, BYU, Riverton Library, St. George, a number of others are using this to train new missionaries in family search. They use the Family History Guide. Many family history centers are using it with their patrons and so forth, and many consultants around the world. But it's interesting that it's family search homepage. It'd be nice, but they have to remain neutral, Switzerlandish, and can't promote one partner over another. So we do more grassroots, and it's amazing how many people know us, love us, use us, and other people. You never know. Yes, Barbara. Okay, so Sister Watkins says in the Hurricane Family History Center, where she works at, the IT guy has put the Family History Guide up in the toolbar, and that's an easy way to get it straight. Yes. That's pretty cool. Did you hear that? So at the temple, one of the recorders said, "Now, if you have further questions, go see the Family History Guide." Okay, cool. You heard it at the temple. All questions. That's pretty cool. I like that. Thanks for sharing. So it's fun, and it's fun to see people's eyes light up with, hey, I can do this. Even 15 minutes at a time. Just watch a video, read an article, follow some steps, make some progress, and then ask the consultant follow-up questions. Then the consultant does not have to be the end-all be-all. You guys are the guides and the helpers, which is should be. And then you can help more people. For instance, you could get tied up with 3 or 4 people in your board, let's say, who are really dependent on you. And that gets suck up pretty much all of your time. Okay, now what are I doing? Okay, imagine reaching 30, 50, or more people through the family history guide, because you can enable them to learn on their own. That is a game changer. Any other questions? Explore the trainer's menu. There's lots of good tools. We also have a Facebook group. I would highly recommend you check that out. It's over. Can you show them that? What are you doing? You leave him alone for a couple of minutes. He starts playing. I'm surprised he hasn't played Jenny Opera. Okay, so trainer. No. Kill that. Or I'll just do it. So I go to the family history guide. In the trainer's menu, there is a Facebook group down at the bottom. And this is for, we have about almost 2,200 members in the group. And this guide, you get posts about using the family history guide or general questions with lots of people, lots of experienced people there, consultants, directors, and so forth. Hello from Scotland. Hey, Raj. So he asked a question. We go to the family history guide, trainers, and near the bottom, Facebook group. And there's even Facebook group tips that we've shared with our Facebook users. And these are some really great tips. Yes. She mentioned Priscilla. Okay, if I were in your shoes and I wanted to know, does the family history guide talk about Priscilla? What tool would I use? Jeopardy. All could be. What is that magic place with the yellow paper? Tell me when I'm getting warmer. Topics, that's right. Topics. LMNOP Pazilla.org. Actually, we do. We have a whole tool on Pazilla, demos and step-by-step. Yes, Pazilla is great for descendancy research, especially. She asked, do we have a resource to translate documents? Oh my goodness. Okay, we're going to go to the homepage here. Look in select language, and leave it at the operator. Okay, because my son has the way simply putting on the Oh, see, Brian. Oh, translate. Oh, may you get a foreign language translation. We don't do that ourselves. So, no, we don't have. So probably your best bet there would be to search on Facebook for language translation. That's one of the challenges is picking the battles. And that's a good point. Some things we have to decline, and other things we jump on right away. And it's been a real testament to the inspiration and little miracles that we are able to proceed along the right path and not steer the boat off the edge. Any other questions? Thanks, you all. We appreciate it. If you do have additional questions, like I said, the Facebook group, or we also have a contact us button on the miscellaneous menu. You can send us any questions you have. We're happy to give you advice. She says, I respond to them. Yes, it's a closed group, but we approve request, unless you're a known serial killer, within half an hour you were. Yeah, you're good. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.
So I'm sitting over here dreaming of being over here because I was trying to develop something like this for my state. And then I came upon it and I'm like, oh, somebody's already done it. So now I just have to learn. Oh, you're lost. How am I going to do this? Let me spend the time learning so I can figure out.
Did you know starting your own family history? Anything you want to do with family history, right here. Family History Guide is put up for all things family history, allowing you to achieve anything you want to learn. It's that simple. Not only does this help you, but this helps you. Do you like to make your experience easier, more efficient, and enjoyable? Let's start your journey by starting a project. Projects take you step by step to help you view your family tree and find your ancestors. Sites. For example, family tree ancestry, just like family tree. All projects in the Family History Guide will not be steps to track faster. Trackers are here. Experience your family history from tons of stages of family history and all with a world of research not being You can also follow along what's happening in Family History Guide.